So beautiful, and Michael Corey too. Thank you both for being here and representing that beautiful show. Now, our next show tonight is also a novel to musical adaptation, this time of John Steinbeck's East of Eden. It became a musical called Here's Where I Belong, a 1968 musical that marked the debut of not one but two legendary playwrights, Terrence McNally, who served as co-librettist, and Alfred Urry, who wrote the lyrics. It's fair to say both of their careers recovered from this one-performance flop, as did the career of our next guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, Heather MacRae.
Knee surgery.
Thank you for being here, Heather. Now, I wonder if you
Thank
could
you.
tell us a little bit about Here's Where I Belong before we sing.
Well, it was a very exciting time for me. I was right out of college. I was 21 years old. It was my first Broadway show. It was my first job in New York City, and I was so thrilled to be in it. And of course, all of you know the great book by John Steinbeck and the film with James Dean and Julie Harris. And actually, the musical, like the film, is just the second half of East of Eden. So the first half of East of Eden is about the father and his twin brother, and the second half is about Cal and his twin brother. So, there's just too many stories. It's just a long night, so I can't really go into too many things. But one of the funniest things was the great James Coco, who was an amazingly talented human being, happened to be Terrence McNally's closest friend. And in the book, the character is Lee, the Chinese houseboy, Chinese. Now, James Coco, of course, was a kind of robust Italian. So Mitch Miller was one of our producers, and they went to the NBC makeup department, because Mitch Miller was on NBC, and they put fake Chinese eyes on James Coco. I felt so terrible for him. And we were picketed by the Chinese actors as well. We should be. But, Jimmy was such a wonderful actor. He had, a little Q down the back of his neck and the little Chinese outfit. And it was just strange. Here's this Italian playing the Chinese houseboy. Oh, that was always strange, I thought.
The Mickey Rooney, the full Mickey Rooney,
yeah,
right?
but he was nothing like that. Oh, my God.
Right,
no,
right.
Thank God.
Well, I will leave you with Here's Where I
thank you.
Belong. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you so much. Charles is amazing. I think he's really 50 years old, and he's just telling us he's 16. I said, I don't know, where did you learn all this? And he said he went to see On the Town when he was 7 years old. And I thought, wow, that's amazing. And that wasn't that long ago. So, but one of the things I have so many memories of being in that show. And I remember the very first day of rehearsal, we had the meet and greet, obviously, and the actors are all sitting in chairs, and the creative team is in back of us, and they're doing a big photo shoot. And I was playing Abra, the role played by Julie Harris in the film. What an honor. She's so amazing. And our leading man was a wonderful actor, the very handsome and talented, extraordinary Walter McGinn, who is no longer with us, but was incredibly talented. He was playing Cal. So, when you do the photo shoot, everybody's supposed to be looking out at the camera, like this, smiling and doing all this. And I have a photo in my apartment somewhere, and I wasn't looking at the camera. I was looking to the left, where Walter was sitting. And I kind of just couldn't stop staring at him. I had a boyfriend at the time, too. But I was like, wow. I was kind of stunned, and he was kind of looking at me, and the picture is me just looking at him. And, of course, we started to fall in love. And by the end of the rehearsal period in New York City, we were in love, and we were living together. So it was pretty fast. So for me, it was such a great experience, even though it did not become a successful show. But I was young, and it was my first job, and I was playing this great part in this, I thought, a very beautiful musical that should have worked. And I was in love with the leading man, so how much better could it be, right? And the other thing is, Walter McGinn, my darling, darling Walter, was the first person to take me to Joe Allen's. I had never been there before. I was 21 years old, and he said, we have to go to the hangout where everybody hung, all the actors were, and I was just so excited. So you know what? I'm very proud that my poster is on the wall there. And whenever I go and have lunch or dinner there, and I take I just took my friend Patty McCormick there, and I said, we have to sit under my poster, Patty. She said, okay. So whenever I ask the maitre d', I say, could you please sit me under my poster? And they go, yes, of course, Miss MacRae. So I'm very happy to have been part of it. And so this is for my darling, beautiful Walter McGinn. Here by your side, the world seems oh so right. Here close to you, the answers come easy. Oh, here is where I belong. Right here is where I belong. Right here I have all I need. With you, nestled in your arms.
Here by your side, the storm clouds disappear. Here I can feel the sun come through, smiling. Yes, here is where I belong. Right here is where I belong. At last I am sure that here with you is where I belong. On a Thursday afternoon, with the sunlight in my face, I can say the way I feel. And I don't feel out of place on this silly afternoon at 2:15. I'm saying in broad daylight, I love you. We both got by with no one else before. But now we can forget about before. Here by your side, the storm clouds disappear. Here I can feel the sun come through, smiling. Yes, here is where I belong. Right here is where I belong. At last I am sure that here with you is where I belong.
Heather MacRae, everyone. Thank you. Yes. And the fabulous Michael Levine joining her on this duet.